10:42 a.m. here on Wednesday, hump day. Haven't taken a shower this morning. Here's my bed head hair, whatever, after I wake up. Drove Uber yesterday afternoon. Lost a lot of rent money this month. Or didn't get paid yet, so got bills to pay. Doing Uber, and this guy said, do you do rake leaves? Picked up this guy, still the afternoon, him and his wife. They're going to get their car at the car dealer getting fixed. I said, yeah, I rake leaves for $1 million an hour. He goes, oh, the market rate for raking leaves is $1 million an hour. And I was like, well, I charge $1 million an hour based on hedge fund paycheck. And I said, well, I got hedge fund paychecks $4 billion a year. I made a spreadsheet, figured out how much that is per hour. So that's how much I charge for my time as a consultant when I'm working. You know, and then he was like, it's like you get some neighbor kids to do it. He goes, yeah, you know, you can pay them by the hour, but if you pay them by the hour, they'll take forever just to get more hours. I'll just pay them by the bag, each bag. Well, then they'll just fluff them in the bags to get as many bags as possible. And I said, well, get a scale and pay them by the pound. How many pounds of leaves you wake up, that's how much you get paid by the pound. I said, you know, you pay me $1 million an hour, and I'll be out there till midnight raking leaves. Of course, you'll have to pay me the first $1 million up front to guarantee that I get paid. You know, because I've worked before and not been paid. Been called chump by mom. Video corner. Well, now I was at the Italian restaurant. They were yakking about me. And I said, well, you know, you'd have to pay me $1 million up front for the first hour, and then $1 million for the second hour before I work. I said, you know, is that the market rate for raking leaves? It's the market rate for me to rake leaves for my time. Oh, then we were talking about stockbroker offices. He was an accountant, so I said, well, I guess my brother's an accountant, CPA, in Houston. His big firm, Arthur Andersen, Deloitte Touche now. I guess he said most people who start out working there don't stay there their entire lives. Most of them start there, take the CPA exam, and then go someplace else. But I guess you have to work at a place like that before you can even take the CPA exam. And I said, well, as a real estate agent and a stockbroker offices around here, I mean, you can't take those exams unless you're working for a company. You can't take the real estate exam unless you work for a company. Well, you can take the exam, but you just can't start your own company in Kansas. You got to work as a salesperson, as a broker. You have to put 2 years in as a salesperson before you can take the broker exam. And I said after my first year at Coldwell Banker, the broker, a different broker than my initial broker, told me he didn't want me to get 2 years in and get out of here. And it was like I wasn't really going to argue with him and beg with him to let me work there. First of all, he was disrespecting me. Secondly, he wasn't going to make money off me disrespecting me with his... somebody said all I had was a high school diploma from Missouri. Got his broker's license in Missouri without having to work as a salesperson. And they hired him to be the broker of the Coldwell Banker office on state line. It's like, well, and the Coldwell Banker people wouldn't talk to me in the main office. I said, fuck Coldwell Banker. I don't care. You know, but I wasted my money and time with my real estate license. But I'd still have it, you know, if these dumbasses didn't fuck me over. After they said you got a job for the rest of your life, you never get laid off. Of course, laying off doesn't get applied to a Coldwell Banker because you're an independent contractor. You're not paid a penny until you sell something. You're straight commission, pure gravy for the company, not an expense. It's all bullshit and lies. Sucker you in there, make it sound great to begin with. And if they decide they don't like you or you're a threat to their job, they kick you out, create lies, get you out of there. Who cares? And that one guy I heard went to prison for bank fraud too. Asshole. I don't even know if he's still alive. He was older than me. He was like my age when I was 25, 21, 25. 20 years older than me. He might be 80 years old now. I don't know what the fuck. Hell, he was even in some discount broker who was trying to recruit me to work at a discount real estate broker, and he's in there acting as a guy's consultant. And he was sitting there. I sat there and wasted a couple hours. That guy there from Coldwell Banker fucked me over. Ah, I don't know. The whole thing's a bunch of bullshit. License rules are just bullshit, controlled by a bunch of bullshit punks. And the stockbroker rules, I couldn't take these Merrill Lynch dumbasses told me my degrees don't matter in an interview on the plaza where my dad had $1 million accounts. And he was telling me to go work there, after Video Corner or during Video Corner. But Wilbur at Purdue, or two or three different guys who looked like Wilbur, told me I was going to be arrested. And, the gossip stories of murdering my dad and me getting arrested if I walk in there. And, well, they did arrest me. They blindsided me. They told me my degrees don't matter. So they're flunk out of kindergarten equivalent punks. Just drop a nuke and get rid of them. And you can't, and that they use that against me to take away my real estate license. They denied my hedge fund investment advisor's license. And I couldn't even take the license test on my own. Finally, I was allowed to take it after a lawyer got me access and shit, paying the lawyer money. But people in Topeka told me my degrees don't matter. I was arrested for trespassing at Merrill Lynch, so I can't get a license. And owning stock of the company doesn't mean you own the company. And you're in jail and mental hospitals, you can't get a license. Your degrees don't matter. Your genius IQ doesn't matter. And so they said in Topeka. So they're all fucking punks too. They all need nukes dropped on their head. All their money confiscated, handed to me. All their assets taken away, given to me. And minimum wage for me is now $5 billion a year. Based on top hedge fund paycheck, minimum wage for me with my degrees and test scores is $5 billion a year. And I was talking about that in that Italian restaurant in Corinth I went to try it out. It was okay. I probably won't go back there. Kind of expensive for what it was, but they were yakking like they knew me. I'm a Crawford, and Mom and Dad were disrespecting me in Video Corner. Mom called me a chump. Dad said he wasn't really my natural father. Murderer and identity thief, lookalikes. Talked about that a lot. I believe it. He was an idiot. He was an idiot, lunatic, mimicking moron. And Purdue, that finance professor, Wilbur, two or three guys who looked like him. Teaching the efficient market theory. You can't make money in the stock market. It's impossible. I mean, if you could, I'd be rich, wouldn't I? Because I got a PhD from MIT. Well, maybe that person did. Maybe he's just a complete lying fraud. I don't know. Kind of an idiot. And of course, they were going to teach you useful information. Then the second year, they tell you can't do the useful information they teach you. So we'll just go back to you're no different than everybody else. And all these dumbasses want to talk about grade point who couldn't even go there, get in, or know what the hell took place. I like to talk about ACT percent and GMAT percent. I think there's a lot less fraud with that. A lot less subject. There's a lot, it's just flat out, there's no questions. Not some teacher grading, giving F's to people they don't like, A's to people who suck their dick or bribe them, whatever. So minimum wage for me. Oh yeah, and then the Phi Delta is who I said the Phi Deltas. Harry, the Phi Delta, Oklahoma State Mechanical Engineering, or I don't know who the hell he was. If he was really he could have just been a complete fraud, liar, and some boy, one of their boys, they just gave straight A's to, who played golf or something. Intramural golf. Who cares? IBM. Well, IBM owes me $1 trillion because of the threat made by Harry and Bill, whoever the hell they were. And IBM minimum wage for me is $5 billion a year. So you just pay me $5 billion a year. You owe me $1 trillion for the threat. What else did I do? Well, those two things stick out yesterday. This accountant, I rake leads for $1 million an hour. But each hour I get paid ahead of time to make sure I get paid. So Don't waste my time working, then I don't get paid, and then you laugh and say, "Huh, what are you gonna do about it, chump?" Like mom did, or their friends. When you're a realtor, it's a catch-22. Your degrees matter when you don't have them. It matters, but if you once you get them, it doesn't matter anymore. Those are the kind of idiots I had to listen. You know, some people when I was a kid, it seems like said your parents' friends are a bunch of losers. Well, some of them were fucking goddamn punk ass fucking whatevers. If they were involved killing my dad, or the neighbors were, or his law firm, or that idiot stole his identity, yeah, I believe it. Just like they disrespected me, so bye bye, boom boom, out go the lights. They just drop nukes on all these fucking dumbass punks.